robots that fly, we build robots that drive. And today, we are going to build something different. We are building a robot that climbs up walls, crosses across ceilings, and fits in the palm of your hand. The ultimate wall climbing Beetle robot. I started with searching for what's already there and if someone has already built something like that. I found that a lot of makers build wall climbing robots using these kinds of 2300 kV BLDC motor, 5-inch propeller, 30 amps AC, and a big battery. I started with gathering the components. I had this tiny 4000 kV BLDC motor, 3-inch propeller, this tiny 2S ESC, and the 7.4 volt 350 mAh LiPo battery as well. Buying links will be provided in the description. So comparing the size of the motor and propeller that others used versus what we are gonna use, it's pretty much sure that we are gonna build a small sized robot. Then I made a rough calculation of whole weight of the components, which came to around 137 grams. So our motor should offer a suction that is at least double the load, means the suction should be around 274 grams or more. For your information, suction here means how strongly the motor holds the body to the wall or ceiling. So the next step is calculating the maximum suction that this tiny motor can offer. For that, we need a structure to mount the motor and propeller in place. I 3D printed this minimal enclosure to mount the motor. I'm using this weighing machine to measure the holding power or suction. The machine shows positive values when weight is on top of it and negative values when we pull or suck this plate up. I started to measure the suction or holding power of the BLDC motor using this version. As you can see, it hardly hits 100 grams, which is not a good sign for us. It doesn't even stick properly in the walls as well. Previously, we increased the area horizontally. This time, I planned for a vertical expansion to mount the motor in a slightly higher position, thereby increasing the clearance from the wall or ceiling to the propeller. Why I tried this is because, for example, if we keep a table fan close to a wall, it won't give out enough air. The reason is the air inlet kind of gets blocked. I thought that might be the issue here also. The air coming out is very less as well. With this newly designed model, as we try to measure the suction, we can see that it hits a maximum of 360 grams, meaning it's able to withstand a load which is equivalent to 180 grams. From our rough calculation, our load came to around 137 grams, so this should work. You can see that it's moving through the walls and ceilings, but it's kind of unstable and falls down. So next, let's try to reduce the whole weight further. I reduced the overall thickness from 2 mm to 0.5 mm and reduced the thickness of these motor mounting clamps as well. You can replace this ESP32 development module with this main ESP32 part only, or swap it with a shower board that weighs 3 times lesser than the prior one. For now, I'm sticking with this full-scale ESP32 development module only. We are swapping this 7805 based 5V regulator with this MP1584 based buck converter, which weighs 6 grams lesser than the 7805 based option. The motors used are N20 motors. The wheels are also 3D printed with 0.5 mm thickness to reduce the weight. The wheel grips are taken from an old toy car. Now comparing the weights, we can see that we have reduced 18 grams of weight with this new design. Now I am keeping the ESP32 and the battery towards the center as much as possible, as if the weight is more towards the borders, it's gonna affect us too much due to large tripping torque. In technical terms, torque equals mass into gravity into distance. We need to reduce this distance as much as possible. So I am keeping these masses closer to the support. Here the support is the suction motor. Now you can see that our robot is kind of working properly. So guys, since we have a working prototype from our previous version, let's go ahead and design its top portion. I started by looking for various patterns that you can see on a real life Beetle. I found all these designs from Google. Then I made few hand sketches, took photos of them and asked ChatGPT to apply these designs in my prototype so that I can visualize them before even I start modeling. GPT gave me a wide range of options. I personally like this one. The honeycomb-like patterns kind of look like a Voronoi pattern that a lot of designers and architects use in their designs. I had this ready-made plastic design with me which I thought to use, but it's slightly oversized. So I went ahead and started to modify the GPT given design into a Voronoi pattern and make the Beetle's top design. Straight away I went to this Voronoi sketch generator an add-on to Autodesk Fusion, after adjusting the parameters, I exported this Voronoi as an SVG. Then I imported this SVG into a Fusion sketch and extruded it into this hemispherical shell that I designed for the robot top. There we have the design. Now let's print it with supports. So guys, the design didn't come out well as we expected. Since the thickness was just 0.5 mm, it was quite impossible to print that pattern consistently in this vertical orientation. So guys, as a next try, we are gonna flatten this hemispherical design into a 2D flat sketch like the kind of designing that we use to do CNC machining. Fusion has an inbuilt option to flatten the design, but that comes under the sheet metal modeling section. Since we are in the solid modeling section and we are not following any sheet metal rules, it's 100% clear that we need to use some external methods to flatten this up. After a lot of research, I downloaded this software called Mesh Mixer, which is also from the Autodesk family. I converted the 3D model into a surface model and imported it into Mesh Mixer. As I hit the unfold button, you can see that we have a flattened sketch of the model. Now we have this overlapping issue over here, but let's fix that in Fusion. Now let's import this into a Fusion sketch. I exported it as an SVG file, then imported it into a Fusion sketch. Here I fixed that overlapping issue by cutting that portion off and then extruded it with a thickness of 0.4 mm. Now let's measure if the flattened model and the actual model are of the same dimensions. Now we can see that both of them are kind of matching. I sliced the design into two parts to fit the print bed and printed the parts. This is the full circuit diagram for this project. You can see that the 7.4 volt 350 mAh LiPo battery is connected to the 5 volt buck converter as well as the 2S ESC which connects to the BLDC motor. The buck converter provides 5 volts for ESP32 as well as the motor driver. The motor driver data pins are connected to GPIO pins 16, 17, 18 and 19 respectively. The ESC is connected to GPIO pin 4. Now let's take a look at the coding part. In the starting, we have the initialization and configuration parts. The important functions of this code are these functions that move the robot in various directions and this one that is responsible for the HTML web page. Now let's enter the SSID and password over here and hit the upload button. Once the code is successfully uploaded, open the serial monitor. It shows the ESP32 IP address. Enter that IP address in a browser and you have the Beetle controller. You can see that all the buttons are functional as well. So that was the ultimate wall climbing Beetle robot. Even though that wasn't the perfect design yet, I think it was really a fun engineering challenge. Along the way, we learned how motor section depends on enclosure design, why weight distribution matters, how small design changes can make a huge difference, and even explored new ways of designing and fabricating lightweight 3D printed shells. I still have a lot of ideas to give it a more realistic Beetle appearance, but every project starts with a first working prototype, and this is ours. It's all about building, testing, failing, learning and improving. If you have any ideas or suggestions to improve this design, let me know in the comments. I would like to build an updated version with your feedbacks. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and follow. And I will see you in the next one.